See if this. Okay. A friend of mine wants me to make this video and explain why. Okay. He sent me something a couple of days ago, and I heard the rumors before and political double speak and all that stuff. Basically, Alberta, Canada wants to become a state or a territory of the United States and leave their own government over the Second Amendment issues they're no doubt facing. I told him this is a trap, a terrible idea, right? Recently, I had the great privilege of moving from Houston, Texas, or Spring, Texas, up to a little town in Anchorage. I'm not going to say where I'm exactly at. Uh, a little town in Alaska. Sorry, not Anchorage. And uh, I tried legally to be able to take a number of my guns through with permits. That was never going to happen. Turns out, as a Texan or a U.S. citizen, basically, I'd say 7/8 of the things that I owned would be illegal, even to transport through Canada with a permit. It wasn't going to happen. So I had to get rid of all my ammunition because getting a permit for ammunition is ridiculous. Uh, Not even to mention going through customs. That's a completely separate video. But we as Americans don't understand the situation that Canada's going through, and honest to God, I don't give a fuck. It's on them. But they don't want to fight the federal government and their whole courts are not their idea of a federal government. I don't really know what the term is, but over the Second Amendment issue, basically all the guns that they have are basically illegal. And the first sign, let's go back. So mom flew up here with my guns. I had to get rid of my suppressor because the way everything was setting up, I couldn't fly up here and fly back and do everything that we need to do at the last minute. And it's just a damn suppressor, a 22 suppressor. I don't give a shit. Had issues with the ATF on that. They were wanting to arrest a Texas boy until they found out I had a tax stamp for it. Well, then I got rid of all my ammunition and packed up my guns, gave them to mom. She flew up here. It's everything I have is legal for her to be transporting. And so all my guns are in Alaska. Well, most of them. A few people out there will laugh at that. And I thought that was pretty much it. So I went through customs, and I don't think that what needs to be said on that in this video. But then we spent the next week going through what would that be? Alberta, Canada. And the northern Alberta, Canada is beautiful. It's like Groundhog Day, same shit right after the other. And I was worried about the streets coming up on winter, but Canada keeps their roads better than Wyoming and in what's that one, Montana. But get to the point. Go through customs, find out a lot of things. Like we Texans can walk around with a pocket knife on our jeans, and nobody really give a shit. Not against the law, but you can't have spring assist or automatics or all that other stuff. So the custom agent guy was kind enough to let me put it in my bag because you're allowed to have them when you're moving or in a car. You just can't carry a knife, and that'll come in later. But I started talking with the customs guys and everybody there, and you talk with your travels, and some things happened. Uh, we take a lot of things for granted. Our country's not as far gone as Canada yet, but the progressive movement's doing it. But here's the deal: you're not allowed to impede a criminal from doing criminal shit by, automatic locks on the doors or locking the guy in or holding him down on the floor. And you can't hurt a criminal because now there's two people going to jail. And more than one person has told me, I have nobody to say. And more than one person told me, Joseph, you can't go up there and tell the Mounties and the state troopers and all the cops in Canada go fuck themselves. You got to play nice and da da da. And luckily, I had no direct police involvement other than through customs, and they were rather separated from the issue. Zero law enforcement whatsoever. But we went to, okay, first story. We went to, this is going to be kind of a rambling long video. The first time we had to gas up, we were still in Alberta, Canada, on the lower part of the province. We stopped at a gas station. A lot of people up there don't know the French Canadians. The Canadians, a lot of them are French, and English is still hard for them to do as their second language. Basically, there was a French Canadian. He was drunk at 10 o'clock in the morning and stumbling through the parking lot, and I didn't know he was yelling at me. Well, mom got out of the U-Haul and walked around in front of the car and evidently stopped mom from walking and started ripping her ass. And I heard some shit going on, but I didn't know he was messing with mom. And that's when I noticed the fear in the guy's eyes. Fear in the guy's eyes at the pump next to me, and said, "You need to get her out of here and run." Why the hell would I have to run? Oh, I've done nothing wrong. He says, "You want to be gone before the cops got there." First time that was said. So I look over, and sure enough, that's mom over there arguing with some drunk guy. And at the exact same moment, I shit you not, a purple haired progressive came walking out of the store, nose ring and everything, sternum piercing and everything, septum piercing and everything, purple hair, and starts wading in on mom. And mom's like, "Well, thanks. The only girl to help me, and you're ripping my ass." And he said, "If it wasn't for you fucking Americans coming to our country." So, uh, basically, the guy fucked off when he saw that I was with mom, and the girl got in her car and sped off down the road. And the guy said, once again, at the pump next to me, "You better get out of here before the cops show up." And we go down the road to the next gas station before getting out of town. And I was looking for a Dr. Pepper or something. And mom, we went into the second store, and the loudest commotion you ever heard, shit being thrown, somebody yelling. And it was the little purple haired, septum nose piercing progressive bitch going ballistic in the store about how the Americans are picking fights and shit. And everybody came running out of the store and told me with the Arizona license plate on the U-Haul, "You need to get out of here." I've done nothing wrong. "No, the cops are coming. You need to get out of here." Whatever. Well, then we go back up the northern route across Alberta. On the map, it shows it looks like a lot of towns are there, and it's not. It's basically like a hotel resort with a gas pump, and a lot of them, I shit you not, bumfucked Egypt have electrical car chargers. How in the hell are you going to get an electrical car that far up north? I have no fucking clue. So, yeah, see, that's not nice, dude. Nobody's wanting to do racial shit. And we stop at this one little place to get gas, and the lady's like, "Oh, the our generator's down. You can't pump any gas." And I'm like, "Well, where's the guy fixing the generator? I'll go help him." And no, he's got it. Just give us a couple of minutes. And so we were sitting there talking to him. Mom's like, as a woman to woman, "What's the deal?" "Oh, you can't carry a gun. You can't have a gun. You got to have the gun locked up. You have to have an ammunition somewhere else locked up. And, we're really at a disadvantage." And for those of you that don't know, they have fucking bison up there. Like, for real, Tatonka. I mean, fucking huge bison. And I was like, "Well, how do you keep the grizzlies and the bisons out of your yard?" And he says, "Basically, you don't. You hide inside." And mom's like, "Well, what happens if a criminal comes up here?" She's like, "You fake a heart attack and lay on the floor and hope to God they leave you alone. And then hope to God that you don't go to jail for reporting it to the cops." So a lot of crime happens and nobody reports it because they don't want law enforcement showing up to their property, right? So we get further down the road. I think it's British Columbia at this point, and we stop at this little thing, and they're selling knives. And I was like, "Oh, y'all are selling hunting knives because it's like a fishing resort." "Yeah, I can sell you the knife, but you have to put it away. You can't carry a knife here." Da 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 da. And I was like, "Well, I just saw bear tracks out in your front yard here, because we saw a grizzly bear, a for real grizzly bear out in the middle of nowhere." I was like, "What do y'all do for the criminals and the grizzly bears?" And he's like, "Well, the owner has a rifle, but it's locked up, and the ammunition you have to store somewhere else, and you can't." I said, "You can't have a truck gun?" "No, you can't have a truck gun. The one fucking place you should be able to walk around with a gun and nobody even think twice should be northern Alberta into British Columbia, because the fucking bears alone." Uh, Jesus. And I noticed that when we went around to the side the cash register, she had a lot of pro Second Amendment signs on the wall. And I was like, well, it's nice to see somebody has a gun. Yeah, we put the signs up, so hopefully nobody does anything, da da da. But there's no firearms. She had a canister of bear spray. That's what they want to use against criminals is bear spray. So, uh, I'll block him later. I don't even know how to do it right now. That shit didn't need to be said. So we were sitting there talking with her. Yeah, you can't lock the criminal in, you can't hold the criminal down, you can't beat the criminal up. And she says what really happened were the damn Somalians and all the non-Canadians that were allowed to be imported in and illegally come into the country and all kinds of shit. And she says it's not the Canadians causing most of the trouble, it's the foreigners that they allowed in. Okay, but you can't do anything about it because you've lost your gun rights. Your gun has to be put up. You can't stop a criminal, you can't impede a criminal, and you can't hurt a criminal, and you can't do this and that. And she's like, be careful for the people, uh, activated hoodie people and the Somalians, or if they look like they're originally from Africa. Well, shortly down the road, there's a I'm not it was like Toad something, Toad River or Toad Run or Toad Lake. There's another resort there, and we stopped there for the night. Fucking beautiful elk all through the fields, and I mean, and across the street from there was a hunting lodge slash oil refinery people, where they go to play. And I talked with some hunters there before. Well, what's the best? What's one of the game control specialists? Because basically, out in the middle of nowhere, you have to hire your own private ambulance. You have to hire your own animal control guy. Basically, an idiot with a gun, really. And he had this old rifle from World War I, and I was like, "Well, why'd you pick that caliber and whatever?" It's the gun I had, and I can't get another gun because of the registry and all this other shit. And scopes must be a hell of a big deal because that's illegal to have on you when you're driving through Canada is a fucking scope. And his shit wasn't scoped. It wasn't damn sure it wasn't a rifle that I'd picked to go after a bear with. And then two hunters were in A&W root beer, I think. Uh, we stopped for burgers, and you say, well, hell, let's talk to the hunters. Hey, what are y'all hunting? Nobody talked about anything. We stopped at another hotel for the night, and there were some people leaving on a caribou hunt. So I was talking to them, and they shut down. Something I said, they shut down, got in their car, and fucking ran. And the lady smoking a cigarette on a bench was one of their wives, and they're like, well, you don't really want to say what you have or what calibers that you like because if you're looking to steal the guns, they'd have to call the law and report them stolen, and basically they could get in a lot of trouble. They could get in trouble if I stole their firearms, right? And we stopped at another place to eat, and some guys had two big trucks, and had the side by sides on there, and had two really nice trailers, aluminum trailers in the back of their truck. And the guy's like, "Oh, you can open the gun cases. There's no guns in there." I was like, "Look, I'm not stealing your guns. I was looking at the trailers. These are nice." And he's like, "Yeah, would you please get away from the car? Da da da." They don't want to talk to you. They're literally scared, right? And so there was one other thing that happened in British Columbia. I'm not thinking about it, but the main thing is looking at people's fears, and then they say, "Well, we're fighting for our Second Amendment rights. We want to become a U.S." No, they don't want to have to acknowledge to themselves that. And now it's time for my rant. Oh, the knife thing. The guy with the knife. They don't want to have to acknowledge they're cowards and won't fight their own people. They're scared shitless of the cops, even though they support them for whatever fucking reason. Same as the brainwashing in America. You run. If something happens, you don't report it and you run before the cops get there. They don't ever question or fight their government on the gun rights because what are you going to do? Have 40 guys show up somewhere with guns? Oh, a guy left it was on the evening news when we stopped at one of the hotels. A guy left his 38 stub nose in the front seat of a car, and basically they had every cop in the county and a SWAT team arrest him because there was a 38 stub nose in somebody's car. That made the evening news. a stub-nose 38 revolver made the evening fucking news. Okay, that's how bad it is. So what I said in the other video, I didn't really think I was a radical until I went through California, Canada, a fanatical. Uh, they're not fighting for their own rights. They're hiding behind the DA or whatever, the province and all this other shit. They can't get together and boycott because that's illegal. Uh, they can't really go carry their guns down Main Street because the way the federal government come down on their ass. They really can't fight the cops because they're scared shitless of a drunk guy in a fucking parking lot, let alone an armed state of the law, which they love. Same brainwashing here. So they can't win. They either have to open war and open revolt, their own government. But what's the safe side? Every fucking issue everywhere in the world, what's America? The safe place to run to. Because you have rights and privileges and all this other bullshit, right? Not one person has ever said the rights of an American citizen run into another fucking country. There's nowhere for us Americans to run to. But the last fucking thing we need on the face of this earth is a province such as Alberta becoming a state or territory of the United States, make California and New York look like a fucking joke with how progressive they are. And for the cowboy culture and there was cowboy culture and something else, the hunter culture, they're brainwashed idiot cowards that won't even admit it to themselves, that are one step above a North Korean. And I say that honest to God because one of the things that happened, we came up on, they have these big red flashing bulbs on setups out there, and they shut down the highway because of maintenance. Well, I pull over in a U-Haul and I'm there for like 20 minutes before anybody else shows up. Bumfucked Egypt. And I don't know what to do. Get out and take a break, stretch around. And right then and there, two cars pulled up. And the second car was a Canadian guy. And I walked over to the first car. Hey, I'm in a U-Haul. Go ahead and go around me as fast as you can. And I'll go pull up the end of the line so you're not stuck behind the U-Haul in a trailer the whole fucking distance. And the second car went up, hey, dude, I'm in the U-Haul, shoot around me with the other fellow, and so that y'all aren't sitting behind eating dust in a slow ass moving U-Haul. And I said, oh, I'm from. He said something, and I said, oh, I'm from Houston, Texas. And he's like, yeah, I knew you were American when you got out of the car, because people evidently don't do that or get out and talk to people. And he noticed I had a knife on. This knife right here, right? And he said, can I see that? So I handed him my knife. What could come of it, right? No, sorry. The thing stuck. And he opens the knife and he says, this is illegal in this country. And I said, well, I didn't really think about it. I just did something and stuck the knife back on me, not even thinking about it. And he was in awe of a damn $3 Walmart knife that somebody would be carrying it in his country. And I said, dude, we never even think about that shit. We don't have to prove what we're doing in order to carry a fucking knife in America, mainly Texas. But something like that, get your ass arrested in Canada. And he says, you consider yourself very lucky that a cop didn't see that. He says, the best thing you can do if a cop pulls you over is throw it on the ground in front of you and put your hands up and surrender. And I'm like, that's basically what a Canadian is a North Korean Frenchman. And I hate saying that, but the moment you encounter something, the best thing you can do is give up and surrender. And at that point, I had no respect whatsoever for a fucking Canadian. And of course, some other things happened while we were there. Like they were talking about having another shutdown because of the unicorn virus and all that bullshit. And I told mom, we're not getting stuck here. I said, I'll find a way to get us there. Won't be legal, probably won't be good, but I'll try not to hurt anybody. And we got the fuck out of Canada. But when you hear of a Canadian, basically you're basically looking at a French North Korean. And you think I'm Billy Badass. Oh, this guy's Billy Badass. There's not a fucking Canadian on the face of this earth I won't stand right in front of and say the same fucking thing, because they all want to be Americans, But the moment we inherit that fucking problem, it will be the death blow to America. It will have another progressive state, and it will never happen. But the problem I have with it, not that the Canadian cowards want to run and hide in the United States and have all of our rights and shit handed to them on a platter without having to prove they're not cowards and having to fight the people they love in their own fucking country, the system, is that you would think that it would be the progressives in this country saying, look, we need to make Alberta part of us, because look at what they are. They're good, honest, hardworking, and they could be Americans and fight for their country. No, they're looking to run and hide. If you're looking to run and hide, you're not fighting for your fucking country. You're a coward. You're looking for an escape. But no, who is it that's actually thinking this is a great idea? It's all the Republicans, it's all the conservatives, it's all the constitutionalists, it's all the hunters, and it's like y'all don't understand the trap that this is in lies. You think these are good, honest, hardworking, gun carrying Republicans? No, they're the biggest damn or not Canadian, progressive cowards you've ever seen. When a drunk Frenchman can literally scare a guy that was almost my size and have nothing but fear in his face, the blood drain from his face, and telling me the first thing to run. So the reason why I think the progressives are keeping this quiet, it's not worth the political clout right now, is you never stop your enemy from making a mistake. If the enemy's going to make a mistake, you do it and you profit from it. I can't think of what the word is. You get something, take advantage of it. The liberals and whatever progressive circle is letting this spin out, because it's the conservatives, it's the Republicans, it's the constitutionalists, it's the hunters, it's the good old boy network in America thinking, oh, we'll have another group of people fighting for our rights. No, it's a giant fucking cowardly cancer sitting there waiting to explode on us, because they would never have a Republican uh, in office or whatever. They would vote Democrat and progressive all down the line, because even the best people I saw there, well, why aren't you doing something about it? Why aren't you joining an organization? Who's leading the fight here? They just look at you like you're a fucking idiot, because how are you going to fight the government? They're so fucking brainwashed already. They think they've already lost, and they have. But I got so sick. All I wanted, I've got a 303 British right there. A friend gave me. I've got a 303 British right there. I haven't let out of my sight, because the only thing I can cross into America, into Canada, into Alaska, and hug a fucking rifle after spending a better part of a week driving through Canada. The simplest things that we take for granted is just gone to them. But then on a note, hug a fucking rifle. Oh, when I crossed into America, I couldn't find my knife because I had buried it after that guy said something. Uh, the only thing I had to put on was a fucking Leatherman, and you can't carry a Leatherman in Canada either. I said, well, I have a Leatherman in there. Can I put a Leatherman on my belt sheath? So they ended up they're not willing to fight for their own country. They will do nothing but hurt us. It only benefits the progressive movement in America. Do whatever you can, get involved in however you can. And I hate Trump, not Trump. Well, I fucking hate Trump. Uh, with Pam Anderson, Pam Bondi. They're setting up a trap or setting up the American people for the next progressive president. But that's beside the point. Get involved in something small and stay on it. And I hate saying back to Republicans, but at this point, what else do we have to do? But start paying attention to the Canadian news. Start paying attention to the political movements. Uh, like a lot of people, oh my God, we can carry guns now uh, in Texas. Up here, it's no big deal. I literally had a cop less than 5 feet from me, pumping gas, and she never even gave me a second thought. I already had my phone on record, waiting for the fucking argument that's about to come. They don't care. I didn't even have a license for about a month that I was here, but you don't need a license, and you can carry damn near everywhere. I even had a talk with one of my doctors, and the doctor's like, "Yeah, you can carry a gun in here. I'm carrying a gun right now." He was carrying a 9 millimeter. Nice guy, but get involved, start paying attention to it. But and if anybody's ever looking to come to America, they're looking to escape for whatever reason: religious persecution, terrorism, economics, whatever fucking reason they're looking to leave their country. You automatically know they won't risk a finger to fight for theirs, so they're never going to fight here. They're going to be looking for another place to run to. The Canadians are a complete write off. How they could fuck up a country washed in oil and natural resources and become such shitty fucking people. Those cowboys and hunters, biggest group of cowards I ever fucking met. They'd run from you the second you mention anything about the Second Amendment or gun rights or any questions or getting to political movements. And know that the entire country is one step above North Koreans, and they're on our border. Not to say the U.S. doesn't have its own issues, but if I wanted to put a rifle on right now and walk down the center of the road, I could do it. And I don't even think the cop would even hesitate to fucking look at me. But fought for gun rights in Texas. I didn't run to Alaska for that reason or for any reason. But this is a trap. Pay attention, get involved, start watching, start reading, do whatever you can. But the biggest thing that would hurt America is having Alberta province tied to us, and they have a lot of land, very little population at all. Hell, I don't even think they would register in the top 10 states. But uh, just know that my personal beliefs is anybody running to America automatically should not scare you, but question, well, if you're willing to run to another country, why weren't you willing to fight for yours? But if y'all want me to elaborate on any one of those issues, I'd love to. But this is a trap. Our own fucking people are pushing for this. It'll never fucking happen. But notice the people that are, and more importantly, notice the people that aren't talking about it. That's scary more than anything. And like I've told everybody's, how do you get involved? Fucking do something. Pick whatever subject you want to, follow it, start doing something. And what's the other thing? Oh, if you can only go to one protest this year, the next calendar year, do the Christmas thing and the New Year's thing and all the bullshit, with your family and everything, and the festival holidays. But next year, if you can only go to one protest or one event, don't go to the event that you're already supporting of. Go to the enemy's event. Go to the opposite political opponents. If you're a Republican, go to a Democrat liberal event. If you're a Democrat liberal, go to a Republican event. Don't go listen to cheerleaders to your own ideas. Go to the opposite side and listen to what they actually have to say. And that shit would scare the hell out of you. Mainly one way, because you can be a liberal in a conservative environment and be safe, but you really can't be safe as an open conservative in a liberal protest, right? Love y'all. Go fuck yourselves.